Hey, Peter here. No fancy editings, just straight value, so let's get to it. And before I start, I'm going to talk about a lot of things, so if I get off track, I apologize, but that means I'm giving you just basically extra value, okay? And I might not explain most of the things the best way possible, but I think you will understand what I mean, so let's get to it. And the very first thing I want to talk about here is the beginning of Q4, which is October, not November. And I mentioned this because most people they only talk about Black Friday, which they should. It's the most important time of the year for you as an e-com store owner, right? But we also need to talk about the warm-up phase of Black Friday, or what I like to call the warm-up phase of your audience for Black Friday. So the way I see it is the entire year, it's basically the warm-up phase or preparation phase of your list, okay? And Black Friday is the preparation phase or warm-up phase of your audience, okay? Very important. And the beginning of Q4, it's basically kind of like the beginning of the preparation for your audience for Black Friday, okay? And in this time of the year, October, we need to send emails focused specifically on your audience and educational emails, basically, myths versus facts, testimonials, share pictures, with us, with our products. Just an example. For example, if you run like a clothing brand or really anything related to sports, you can do that. Product highlights, FAQs, very powerful. Brand stories, really, really good. You can make something up and, it just works, right? You can create an amazing story about your brand. It's probably not true, but it's going to work. People are going to love it, right? And they're going to love your brand. They're going to buy from you, okay? Product features, single feature, staff favorites. I love the staff favorites, my God. I don't suggest you to do like back in stocks this time of the year, but you get the point, right? Like just do, how do I say this? Just focus mostly on your audience. And when I say back in stocks, I mean fake back in stock emails, okay? Because if you're actually in stock, you should definitely make an email about that. All right, so now we're gonna start talking about offers. And this is where the majority of the value is, and probably what I want you to understand the most. Because the cool thing about you running your own e-com store owner is that you can do whatever you want. And you can give the exact same offer in terms of value in many different ways. And this is extremely powerful, okay? Now, one thing that I want you to understand about an offer is that there's two categories of it, or two parts of it, right? So the first, it's the actual value of the offer. For example, 20% off, right? That's an actual value or discount for the offer. And the second is the way you present the offer, the way you frame the offer. And this is where the real money is. As a marketer, I have to frame the offer the right way. And before I continue talking about offers, I also want to mention profit. Because usually marketers, they think we can do like a 50% offsite. Why? No. It's going to destroy your brand. It's going to destroy your margins. I always think, and basically my main purpose here, my main thing here is profit. And I can tell you that December, because on Black Friday, you need to have a strong offer in terms of value, okay? You can't, you cannot ignore that, all right? But December is the time of the year where you can make the most profit, okay? My December and early Black Friday too. Early Black Friday is a good opportunity for you to have a good offer when it comes to positioning and framing, okay? So profit is extremely important, and you as a business owner, you know that, okay? You know it. All right, so let's begin by talking about early access Black Friday, okay? I will, again, talk a little bit more about offers in a second. Now, some people do early Black Friday, some people don't. I highly suggest you do it because the more offers in terms of framing, in terms of positioning, the better. Again, like I said, You can have the exact same offer in terms of value, but you can frame it in many different ways, okay? So I highly suggest you do early Black Friday or early access Black Friday, okay? Do it. Now, usually here, by the way, this is just an example. I mean, like if you do all of this, if you copy paste all of this for your brand, it's probably going to work, but every brand is different and every brand has its own unique maximum potential of doing things, if that makes sense. I personally don't suggest people to do this. By the way, a little bit about offers here. Black Friday offer, up to 55% off. Up to 55% off. That means you can have one product at 55% off and all the others are like 25 or 30. So this is a way of framing an offer. Okay, this is an example, up to 55% off, okay? So psychologically it works, but again, I don't want to get off tracks here, like I said in the beginning, but I needed to mention this, all right? So yeah, we got the early, we got the teaser. I suggest you do teasers, obviously. More than one works, depends on the size of your brand, but yeah, you can do that. You can play around with that. And then on the early Black Friday, usually, I do the standard volume. I mean, if you're doing 2 emails a week, I suggest you do 3 for this time of the year, this time of the month, early Black Friday. Do 3 or even 4, Depends a lot about your audience and the brand, okay? Here, you're gonna have not a very strong offer. Like, you can do like 17% off. That works, trust me, like a random number works very well. You can do 17% off site-wide. You can change the offer completely or frame it in a different way. What you can do is like, okay, 17% off here, and here you get like a free gift. You can do that, right? Technically, it's not the exact same offer, but right? It's not that big of a deal, okay? So another cool thing about running a lot of offers is that you can do closers, and we both know that those last chance and urgency type emails perform really, really well. So that alone, you're gonna make more money, okay? So that's why you need to run more offers, okay? Now, on Black Friday, I suggest you to do a strong offer, obviously. This is where you have the chance to, because you can frame it in a much better way than what it is, but the offer needs to be strong enough, okay? And on Black Friday, I don't suggest you to change the offer entirely. Just keep it, especially when it comes to like the way you frame it. Don't change it too much. What you can do at time to time is, we're running out of stock. Like you better purchase this, okay? So yeah, do that. Cyber Monday, I personally like to do an extended version of Black Friday. So it's kind of like, we appreciate your support, so we're extending Black Friday for Cyber Monday. So it's basically the same offer, right? And you can do here, for example, an extra, 15% off is a little too much, but I would do like 10% off, but this is just an example. An extra 10% off on top Black Friday for the first X amount of people. This number depends on your brand, okay? But this works very well, trust me. And the real deal is December, because this is where you can change the game entirely, okay? So what I like to do on December is starting with bundles, because bundles, they feel like they are special, they are unique, but when it comes to the actual value of the offer, you can lower them drastically, right? So you can make a shit ton of money here, okay? So I highly suggest people to transfer to bundles after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, because it just feels completely different and new, right? And again, the cool thing about running different offers is that you can target different types of people, because I can guarantee you that there's going to be people that are going to prefer to buy bundles than up to 55% off, okay? You need to understand this. There's a lot of different kinds of human beings. There's 8 billion people on Earth, and every single one of them is different, okay? So you need to understand this. People love different offers. People prefer different offers, even if the value is worse, okay? So yeah, keep that in mind. This is very powerful. All right, now we can do that. And the cool thing about running different offers, again, is that, you can do, I'm repeating myself here, but you can do last chance to buy, right? And usually this time of the year, this month, like December, I always say, we appreciate your support for this sale. You know what? We're going to give you another sale, right? I always do this. This crushes. I mean, people love it. And then, here you can do like a gift code, or you can do like a 20% off site. Like, this is just an example. You can do whatever you want. You can frame it whatever you want. I suggest you on December to also have your emails themed. How do I say? How do I say this? Christmas theme. It works very, very well too. Okay, people look at it and they know, oh, it's Christmas time. I gotta buy, right? Very important. Okay. All right. And then this is just an example. Last offer, you can do like a digital card gift. And when it comes to December, you can always say, why not buy this for your family? I think they're gonna love it, right? Again, you can do so many things. Like, it's all about, I'm just giving you simple examples, but there's so many things you can do. And that's the beauty about running your own e-com store. Because if you have a good marketer like me, I hope I don't sound cocky here, but yeah, I just love doing this and I study it. That's the way I want you to understand it, okay? So if you know how to frame offers, you're gonna make a lot of money. So this is really the only thing I want you to understand about this video. So yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you're looking for help for Black Friday, you are in the right place, because yeah, I can make you a lot of money. I know how this works. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I wish you an amazing rest of the day. Thank you.